we have this bloated, bureaucracy, and they're not proving that they're worth being paid, because since they've come into existence, the American student, their performance has steadily gone down. And so that's one of the reasons why we're now looking at it and saying, this needs to be gone. So that's going on as we speak.
Do Democrats not agree with the VAERS report on the vaccines and what they compare to other years, let's say, of the flu and that? Do they not agree that the VAERS report indicates that the vaccines, once given, created a lot of other problems? Do they not understand that, or is it not true?
No, what they're doing is they're ignoring the true silent information that we have out there. So the exchange between Robert Kennedy and Bernie Sanders, where he said that there is no research whatsoever of a correlation of vaccines to autism. Well, one of the things is that in 1962, when I was born, I was only given 5. All right, 5 vaccines. That's all I was given the whole time. The average autistic person that was on that scale at that time was 1 in 10,000 or 100,000. So 1 in 100,000 was there a autistic child that came up. In 1983, it jumped up to 10. And what really is interesting is that the correlation is 1 in 88. Then it jumped up again in 2000, where they have 74 vaccines that are given to children, and it's 1 in 36. And so, and then in that exchange, when Bernie said that there's no research whatsoever, I knew of 2. I pulled those up and then found 18 more. So when I go into my confirmation, I'm going to be turning over that research, which correlates directly from the additives of mercury that are in there. There's no reason for mercury to be added to anything in any vaccine and stuff. And so this is something that, if you remember, in the 1800s, the person who did hats, did these hats right here, what were they called? The Mad Hatter. Why? Because they used mercury to form and heat and to put that in there, and they were absorbing mercury into their hands, and it caused senility. It caused them to have this rage of lashing out to people and everything else. That's why they got the term, he's mad as a Mad Hatter. Well, that's where that comes from.
I thought the answer was Stetson. I guess I was wrong. I was way off. All right. So Title IX, we're going to go on to other subjects, because you're going to be battered with some of these questions about the VAERS reports. Nobody mentions that. Why not? It's a CDC government agency, right? It's run by the government. Why don't people believe it?
Well, they've lost all trust in our government. I mean, and rightly so, because they're the ones that said that, with Fauci over that. Now, I know he was part of NIH, but he was also part of CDC as well. And the thing is that those vaccines and mask mandates, those were, strong suggestions. We think you should take this, but they treated it, and the military treated it as, these are things that you have to do. Then you don't have a choice. And so that's one of the reasons why, my boss is now reinstating all of those officers, men and women that were kicked out of the military for not taking the vaccine, plus getting them their back pay, and restoring their rank and stuff, so that they can have that honorable discharge instead of having a blight on their record. And so these are things where we're going to go back to it. And just to let you know, So for if we go all the way back to 4000 BC and we move all the way to 2020, there was only two genders, male and female. And then in 2021 to 2024, we had almost 163. I think was the highest genders that we had. And then as of today in 2025, we're back to two.
Did you say 4,000 years?
4,000 BC. Okay, 4,000 BC, all the way to
back
2020.
In the Jurassic period, the genders converged into two. So I'm just joking. That wasn't a good joke. I'm sorry.
Don't use that joke tomorrow. No, it's not going to work.
The fake audience didn't even laugh at that one.
Well, okay, yeah, all right. Well, when I was talking about the VAERS report implies that these vaccines, the implication is that these vaccines were terrible for everybody, not good.
Well, so one of the things is that what's coming out now out of the research is that we're finding that again, you said instead of U.S. aid, you said what they had actually been paying for the gain of function for the SARS-CoV vaccine. Yeah. And so now we have where they've actually come out and showed evidence that it was being weaponized. It was being utilized.
$40 million.
Yes. And so these are things that as Elon Musk is going out and he's looking at this and stuff. And one of the things that I plan on doing when I get in there is opening up the books. We're going to sit down and we're going to literally talk to Elon, and he's going to have access to where the money went, and we're going to open up the books and let him go through.
So here's the deal: when you get to do this, I would like you both to come on my show, you and Elon. I'm dead serious.
One of the things, and so I was telling JP this. He and I had talked this week, and I told him, I said, one of the things that you might need to think about is podcasts. We have our own media deal where we do conferences and we press conferences and stuff. And we're going to have access to people like yourself that has a podcast that you can be there and you can ask questions. You'll be able to sit and ask questions.
I can go to the normal place where they have the people get interviewed, and your person on Trump's the 27-year-old gal who's really top notch. They have that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know her by her first name. I'm sorry, but I didn't realize that you did either. But that you got to learn all that, So
well, the thing is that that's the press White House press corps.
Yes.
HHS is going to have its own press corps as well.
Hey, that's super. I keep that in mind. All right. This is amazing. Okay, so the Dems now. Let's talk about Title IX and those little girls that all got to be with Donald, including Gaines.
Yeah, Riley Gaines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When Trump announced there's only two genders, male and female, and we're going to stop the males from going to compete with women, girls, and we're going to keep them out of the bathrooms, keep them out of the dressing rooms. So what do you think about how he did that, and what do you think about how he's liked better or worse by the females?
Well, I think he's liked a whole lot more because, like anybody else, females don't want males in their locker room, in their bathrooms, or anything else, unless they're married to them, and then sometimes they don't want them in there. So, but
is that true, honey?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. More than sometimes. Get out! Get out, dude. I'm here.
The thing is that we need to honor our women just as God has honored our women, and each person has their place. And the thing is that we have proven this over and over, where you can take a guy that is competitive, and he may be ranked 400, but that 400th place would rank first in women's sports because of the muscle structure, the testosterone level that's in the human body. Physiologically, we're just stronger. Now, there are some women that can, do bodybuilding and stuff, and they can get strong. But if you pit somebody that is their height, their weight, their size, and they're equal to that, they're still going to be stronger than that person, that individual. Sure. And so the thing is that God made us for a purpose, and that was to go and populate and produce other people, human beings in the earth. And so one of the things that we've got to do is understand what God's purpose is, but also celebrate not only the differences between male and female, but understand that how great the female really is, and what they bring to the table, and especially at the top where they're competing against each other in sports and stuff. The thing is that I would like to see Riley Gaines, give her title back.
Sure.
And take it away.
Some are suing for that now.
Exactly, because that I think it's wrong that you take this person who couldn't even make any of the male teams and everything else, and then sets world records in the women's. I mean, all of that should be stripped away and done away with.
And these girls have been damaged to the extent that they've lost careers as maybe coaches, as maybe getting a scholarship. They have damage. So if you know any good lawyers, you might suggest that to them, and I'm sure they're already suing it. What do you think?
There's several of them that have already started putting it out, and we're gonna try to right the ship. I mean, the thing is that the children were in charge for 4 years. Now the adults are back in charge. And the thing is that it is a clear mandate by the American people when they elected Donald J. Trump as our president.
Absolutely.
They wanted him to come and fix the problem. And that's exactly what he's doing. That's the reason why
America knows. They know now what's going on. Now, whether it's going to change or not, we have to be vigilant in making sure that doesn't happen, because we have to tell people like yourself, and you're telling people, Bill's telling people, my wife is, and so is JP. We're telling people about this, and I'm not making money doing this a lot. Okay, I mean, I'm doing this because I like where I live, and I don't want anybody to mess with me or my family. Okay?
Well, and that's the reason why. And we're also, if you don't understand what President Trump's doing, here's the thing. Right now, we have this top-down, being the president and the government and everything else dictating to the people. And that's not what our founding fathers did. We're going to turn that around. And the thing is that, I'm going to be part of the federal government, but you have somebody in your studio right now that will have more power than I will. And that's exactly what our founding fathers wanted. They wanted the state House representatives and state Senate to be the most powerful, and the federal congressional Senate to be weaker.
You got that. All right.
So, Bill,
.net, can people find you and contribute to Ryan?
So you can go to giftsandgo.com/Ryan Zink. And again, it's Zink is the last name. And you can donate to his attorney fund is basically what it is, because he's not doing that. And so here's another. I'll give it to you in 20 seconds. The FBI has gone out to the J6ers and started causing them to lose their job. My son had a job for a week and a half and was fired.
From the FBI?
FBI, we still have rogue agents that are going out creating problems for the J6ers.
That's interesting. All right. Well, listen, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud that you chose to come on this show. I consider you a friend. And, well, other than that, I got to tell you this. Remember